Did you know that the original devil was once a good angel? Yes, you heard that right. What's up, everyone? It's me. And today, we're going to be talking about the unveiling of evil, specifically who was the first devil. So buckle up because this is going to be one hell of a ride. Throughout history, the concept of the devil has undergone significant transformations, leaving many to wonder about his origins. Some believe he was once a powerful angel who fell from grace, while others believe he was simply an embodiment of evil that came into being with the dawn of humanity. But which is it? Let's delve into the depths of religious texts and theological debates to uncover the truth behind the devil's creation. Join me as we explore the enigmatic beginnings of the ultimate evil and discover how Satan went from being a mere adversary to the personification of all that is wicked. The word Satan appears several times throughout the Hebrew Bible, but initially it wasn't associated with the figure we know as the devil. In fact, the term Satan in Hebrew texts simply means accuser or adversary. During that time, the concept of an ultimate evil entity hadn't yet taken shape. Instead, Satan referred to an adversarial figure that opposed and accused the righteous. The term was often used to describe the adversary in legal or political contexts, similar to how we might use the word prosecutor today. For example, in the book of Job, Satan is described as being present at a heavenly council where God discusses Job's righteousness. In this passage, Satan challenges God, saying, "Have not made him a tithing." But throughout the book of Job, Satan is not depicted as an independent agent of evil, but rather as a member of the heavenly court who accuses Job of only serving God out of self-interest. This portrayal of Satan as an accuser or adversary sets the stage for his eventual evolution into the devil, a figure whose primary role is to tempt and accuse God's followers. As time went on, the usage of the term Satan began to shift. It went from being a generic term for an accuser to a proper noun referring to a specific individual. This transition marked the beginning of Satan's journey from being a mere adversary to becoming the devil as we know him today. The change from Satan as a generic term to Satan as a proper noun signifies an important development in the understanding of evil. It represents the emergence of a distinct and recognizable figure whose primary purpose is to oppose and tempt humankind. In the ancient world, various cultures had their own beliefs and myths surrounding evil. Some believed that evil was personified by demons or malevolent spirits, while others saw it as a force of nature that must be respected and appeased. However, the emergence of monotheistic religions like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam brought about a different perspective on evil. These faiths introduced the concept of a single, all-powerful deity who was the source of all good. As a result, the nature of evil also became more defined, seen as a direct opposition to the teachings and commandments of these religions. The emergence of Satan as the personification of evil can be traced back to the influence of Zoroastrianism, an ancient Persian religion. Zoroastrianism introduced the concept of a dualistic cosmology, a belief system that posits the existence of two opposing forces, one representing good and the other representing evil. In Zoroastrianism, the personification of evil is known as Angra Mainyu, a spirit of destruction and deceit. The influence of Zoroastrianism can be seen in the later Abrahamic religions, particularly in the figure of Satan. While there's no direct evidence that early Jews were influenced by Zoroastrianism, similarities between the two belief systems suggest a possible connection. Scholars speculate that during the Babylonian exile in the 6th century BCE, when the Jewish people were exiled in Babylon, they came into contact with other cultures, including the Persians. This encounter may have exposed them to Zoroastrian ideas, which subsequently influenced their understanding of good and evil. However, it's important to note that early Jewish texts don't portray Satan as a supreme leader of evil. Instead, the term Satan still refers to an accuser or adversary who appears before God and accuses the righteous, challenging their integrity and testing their faith. For example, in the book of Zechariah, we see the following. "And the Lord said, let him, the messenger of the Lord, go before him and say, What are you seeing, O my Lord? Then the Lord shall receive him, and he shall answer him, I have sent him as a prophet to the nation." This passage describes a messenger of the Lord going forth and encountering his Lord, where the Lord instructs him to ask a series of probing questions to test the messenger's faith and obedience. This process mirrors the way Satan tests the righteous by tempting them with trials and adversities, which serves to strengthen their faith and commitment to God. Ultimately, the figure of Satan in early Jewish texts is more akin to a prosecuting attorney in a courtroom drama, someone who brings charges and presents evidence against the accused rather than the supreme leader of evil. As the centuries passed, the understanding of Satan's role and nature continued to evolve. During the intertestamental period, which refers to the time between the Old and New Testaments, Jewish apocalyptic literature emerged, offering new perspectives on the nature of evil and the devil. One significant text from this period is the Book of Enoch, which provides further details about Satan's origins and his place in the hierarchy of evil. According to the Book of Enoch, Satan was originally a Grigori, an angelic being who fell from heaven due to his transgressions. This idea of a fallen angel, an angelic being that chose to rebel against the divine and embrace evil, is a prominent feature in Christian theology. However, it's important to note that the Book of Enoch isn't part of the canonical text accepted by most Christian denominations. Despite this, the concept of a fallen angel resonated deeply within Christian circles and became a foundational element in the formation of the devil figure. In early Christianity, the understanding of Satan as a fallen angel was shaped by the influence of Gnosticism, a diverse group of religious movements that flourished in the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE. Gnosticism introduced the idea that salvation came through secret knowledge or gnosis, and often depicted a fallen angel named Yaldabaoth as the creator of the material world. This teaching challenged traditional Jewish and Christian beliefs about the nature of creation and the role of Satan. However, the Gnostic view of Satan as a flawed creator resonates with the later Christian depiction of the devil as the ruler of a fallen kingdom. It wasn't until the 4th century that Christian doctrine began to solidify the concept of Satan as the embodiment of ultimate evil. This development occurred during the reign of the Roman Emperor Constantine, who convened the First Council of Nicaea in 325 CE. This council aimed to address various issues within the Christian Church, including the nature of the Trinity and the divinity of Christ. However, the council didn't explicitly define the role or origins of the devil. During the Middle Ages, the idea of a fallen angel became firmly established in Christian theology. Theologians such as Thomas Aquinas incorporated the concept of a fallen angel into their writings, further solidifying Satan's place in Christian eschatology, the study of death, judgment, and the afterlife. This portrayal of Satan as the supreme leader of hell and the ultimate evil continued to influence Western thought throughout the centuries, shaping literary depictions and theological discussions of the devil. So you might be wondering, why did it take so long for the devil to be fully fleshed out? Well, the answer lies in the nature of the early Christian movement itself. Christianity began as a small sect within Judaism, focusing primarily on the teachings of Jesus and his imminent return. The issue of ultimate evil hadn't yet been addressed, and the concept of a fully realized devil would develop over time. Today, the image of the devil is deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. We think of him as a horned, red-skinned creature with a tail, the embodiment of sin and temptation. But the image of the devil we know today is actually quite recent, emerging in the late Middle Ages. Prior to the Middle Ages, depictions of the devil varied, often taking on the form of a grotesque, hairy monster or even appearing as a handsome tempter. The image of the devil, as a fallen angel wearing red and bearing horns, gradually took hold during the 14th and 15th centuries, influenced by medieval art and literary depictions such as those found in Dante's Divine Comedy and works by artists like Bosch and Bruegel the Elder. So what do you think? Does it seem plausible that the original devil was once a good angel who fell from grace? Or do you believe that the concept of a fallen angel is merely a human construct designed to explain the origins of evil? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it. We'd love to have you back for more videos in the future.